Saint Seiya is another one of those series that I'd known about for quite some time, but never took the deep dive on until recently. I've always seen people bring up Seiya when talking about incredibly strong anime characters on social media and other forums, but it wasn't until a friend kept telling me about it for me to just go for it, and I gotta say, I do not regret it. This series is amazing. This always seems to happen, but of course, Saint Seiya by Masami Kurumada is yet another series from the seemingly endless Shonen Jump catalog, running from 1986 to 1990, spanning 28 volumes. It's one of the top-selling manga of all time, selling 35 million copies, and that's not even counting the sequel titled Next Dimension, or any of the spin-off anime and manga. We've got Lost Canvas, Omega, Saint Seiya Show, Soul of Gold, Episode G, and 6 movies. Kurumada also made bank off of multiple lines of action figures throughout the years. Its impact on the industry of shonen manga is generally very understated in the West, though it saw great success in other parts of the world like Spain, Latin America, France, and especially, of course, in Japan. They tried to bring it to the West in the early 2000s, but the dub and the overall localization wasn't very good, so it just kind of flopped and disappeared. In an industry filled with stories mostly focused on a single hero like Kenshiro, Goku, and Ryo Saiba, Saint Seiya offered a Super Sentai-style team of heroes. While the protagonist Seiya is probably the strongest in the team, the other characters matter just as much and are just as developed as he is. Each even have their own distinct fighting style and signature attacks. People love this team of boys so much that the doujinshi of Saint Seiya is credited for popularizing the yaoi genre, so it's clear to see not much is different now compared to the 80s, I guess. Saint Seiya was a huge inspiration for Tite Kubo, the author of Bleach, who even goes as far as to say it's the reason he started making manga in the first place, and you can see its lasting impact in tons of other series as well. The anime originally ran from 1986 to 1989, giving us 114 episodes. However, it did not include the series' final and, in my opinion, best arc, the Hades arc. It would be until 2002 when the anime would return to adapt the Hades arc in OVA form. Netflix got the rights to the franchise pretty recently, and you can find most of the original anime on there, except the Hades arc. What you need to avoid at all costs, though, is the 2019 adaptation done by Netflix. In my opinion, it's just a spit in the face to the original series. The animation's that weird CGI garbage Netflix keeps pushing out, but I still think it looks better than most of the other shows they've done with CGI, so I guess there's that. Where I draw the line, though, is the main cast fighting goddamn helicopters. What the hell is this? Like, this is not what happened in the manga. The series takes place in Greece, where a group of orphans is being trained from a very young age to be warriors called saints, donned in divine cloths, which are these giant metal sculptures. The sculptures dismantle themselves and turn into armor that powers up the user greatly. There's 3 main tiers of cloth. You have bronze, silver, and gold, with bronze being weakest and gold strongest, though there are cloths that surpass even gold, called the god cloths. They're all based on various constellations, though the gold cloths are actually based on the 12 zodiac signs. Having a cloth doesn't make you invincible though, and the main cast on multiple occasions have their cloths destroyed, and they're left with nothing but their own power. They can be repaired, but it takes the blood of a gold saint to make it happen. We first see our protagonist Seiya fighting in a tournament with the grand prize being the Pegasus bronze cloth. After he absolutely whoops this guy and earns his cloth, he's entered into yet another tournament where we meet the rest of the crew. There are some great matches here, but overall it's a short and fun arc that serves to introduce our main cast. They all come from the same orphanage which fostered 100 kids, raised to fight in a war spanning centuries to defend the reincarnation of the ancient goddess Athena. She's reincarnated when the earth is in danger, and the saints exist as her army to combat whatever evil she faces. The gold saints in particular act as her guard. She's in great hands though, you really don't want to mess with these guys, but more on that soon. Our protagonist Seiya, owner of the Pegasus cloth, originally wants to join the fray to have a chance at finding his sister who went missing years prior. Eventually, he accepts the importance of his position as a soldier of Athena. One thing that needs to be made clear at this point is that the characters in this manga are insanely overpowered. Even as just a bronze saint, Seiya can move and attack faster than the speed of light, and attack with the force of a comet. And that's at the beginning of the series. There's not really much in his personality that stands out besides his incredible endurance and persistence. He fights for what is right and literally will not stop until he's victorious. You could probably take this dude's brain right out of his body and he'll still try to fight you. His signature attack is the Pegasus Meteor Fist. Next up is Shiryu, owner of the Dragon Cloth. From an early age, he trained with one of the Gold Saints in the mountains of Rozon. This is also where he was entrusted with his cloth. His is said to have the most powerful fist and strongest shield of any of the Bronze Saints, but it's broken more than once, so I don't know how strong that shield is. He's got the most calm demeanor of anyone in the group, but his fist is wildly powerful, sending his enemies flying with ease. His signature attack is the Rozon Rising Dragon. Also joining the Saints is Hyoga, who uses the Cygnus Cloth. He's the coolest member of the group, literally. See what I did there? This guy can attack with absolute zero temperatures and pose like a madman while he's doing it. He was also trained by a Gold Saint, Aquarius Camus, in the frozen Siberia, though in the anime his master was changed to a different character, I guess. His signature attack is Diamond Dust, which is referenced in Yu Yu Hakusho, Kingdom Hearts, and a bunch of other things. The final member of the main cast is Shun, who wields the Andromeda Cloth. Everyone underestimates this guy because he's feminine, but he's actually one of the strongest members of the group, and in the series in general. He was trained by the Silver Saint Cepheus Daedalus. This is also changed in the anime. He uses the Andromeda Chain for both attack and defense. Shun's motive in the early parts of the series involved him searching for his long-lost brother Iki, but this is resolved pretty quickly and it moves on from that. His signature attack is Nebula Chain, and you can see his chain referenced in both Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter in Kurama and Kurapika, both also characters underestimated for being feminine. I said Shun is the final member of the group, but it's worth mentioning the Phoenix Saint Iki as well. He's Shun's aforementioned older brother, and he actually starts out as an antagonist for the main crew, but eventually comes to help them out on multiple occasions. I wouldn't necessarily group him in with the other four, but he shows up and kicks ass when they need help the most. His signature attack is the Phoenix Illusion Demon Fist. All of these characters were able to eventually awaken their seventh sense, or this series' main power, Cosmo. The more in tune with Cosmo a person is, the more powerful they can become, allowing masters of Cosmo to move and attack massively faster than light, and with the force of the Big Bang which created the very universe itself. In classic shonen fashion, the power you gain from Cosmo is directly linked to your emotional state, allowing our heroes to crush their limits time and time again when the universe depends on it. The 12 Gold Saints have all awakened and basically mastered this, giving them insane godlike powers. Gold Saint Virgo Shaka is able to just straight up trap somebody in a dimension that they can't attack in or escape from, slowly strips them of all of their other senses until they can only drift endlessly in an empty void. And Gemini Saga can even rain down planets and galaxies on you, as well as rip through the fabric of space and time to attack you. Like I said earlier, these are the last people you ever want to fuck with. But don't take my word for it. Please check out the anime on Netflix and see this amazing slice of shonen history, or even check out the manga, which has been published in its entirety in North America. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any feedback or suggestions on future videos, please leave them in the comments below. There'll be a new video every Friday. I might switch up the formula a little bit. I don't know yet. I'm a little bit worried about copyright concerns. I haven't gotten any strikes or anything because the channel is so small, but it's seen to happen to other channels with similar content, so who knows, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm out.